Welcome back. Today we're going to do a test using the new F1 Ultra doing a brass coin. I'm going to assume that you have everything set up and we're going to just jump right in. First thing we're going to do is go up here and choose user defined material and choose the brass coin, and then hit the little ruler to figure out the thickness of the coin itself. And here you see the red and the blue laser focusing to get the height of the coin. And when they overlap each other, that's when you know you're in focus. And it looks like it's 2.9 millimeters thick, and it tells you the focus has been successful. So now we'll insert our image, and in this case I use a 35 millimeter circle for the coin. And you do for the depth map, deep engraving, you need a PNG or an image, not a vector file. So there's my image, change it to embossment, so it will do that deep engraving. And generally put it in the middle, but the hardest part of this really is lining things up. But the settings that come by default are 256 number of layers. That's really deep, so I usually change it to 150, but it also depends on the design. And then you can hit that emboss preview to kind of get a pretty good idea of what it's going to look like on the coin, so you don't have to waste a coin. That's actually a pretty handy feature. I try to do that on new designs just to make sure. And then if you hit that refresh button, it's going to give you the camera view, which does help you line things up somewhat, and I definitely recommend zooming in a lot. But it's not perfect by any means. This is an area where Xtool could really improve to help you find dead on center on items, not just using a camera, because there is distortion. Now you see I hit the framing button to give you an indication visually. And here's where you'll see the framing square. It's really hard to see sometimes, especially depending on the light in your house or your shop or whatever you're using. So you can go back, hit the little hamburger menu, and change the power to 10, and even change it to outline if you'd like. It does help. It's still not very bright. This is, like I said, this is a challenging thing to get lined up, and it does take back and forth, especially when you're on something like a circle where you want it to be perfect. It can be difficult for sure. So I recommend just move it, frame, move it, frame, move it, frame. And you can use the arrows on your keyboard to move too. And then you go click the go to process button, and it'll calculate how long it'll take. This is a long one because it's a deep engrave, so 4 hours. Then you it'll send it over to the engraver, and then you hit the button on the touch screen when you're ready to go. And obviously safety first, put the glass down or plastic down. And then here's a dramatically sped up version of the actual engrave itself. And you see that it just goes layer by layer and goes down 0.01 millimeters every layer until you start to get the deep engraves, and you see how those colors affect things. So the white is the higher layer, the black is the lower layer, various shades of gray will give you various depths of cut as well. So it's pretty cool. It takes a little trial and error when you're playing with new graphics, trying to figure out what you're doing, but you can get some really neat effects for sure. And here's the initial output, and I'm leaving it in the laser because I want to do a cleanup layer. So pretty clean, but you still want to do one light layer or one light engrave over the top of this, which I'll show you how to do that. And really all you got to do is create in this case, a 35 millimeter circle, which I'm bringing in right now. I just call it a cleanup circle. It's a solid vector SVG file. And instead of an embossing, you just do an engrave. And you change it to a low power for sure. In this case, 20%, and then the speed is 4,000 millimeters per second, and I do 3 passes. And I always turn the lines per centimeter up because I want it to be as accurate as possible. And then we hit that refresh button again. You can then use the camera to align it. Since I edited this video or made this video, I'm now using the XY coordinates as well. When I get a really good one, I can just punch in the numbers. So same thing, send it to the engraver, and you see how quickly it kind of cleans up that soot and grime until you get a really, really cool coin. And here's the finished product. It actually turned out really well. You can clean it up if you want, polish it. I've tried different things. So far, haven't come up with a really good solution yet, but I am going to be playing with a tumbler of sorts as well. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Oh, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.